Hey, I wasn't going to do this live. I actually started to shoot a video and I realized that I kind of wanted to do this live. I am sharpening a scandi folder. Guys, it's in bad shape. Give me just a second. I will be right back momentarily. Sorry guys, doorbell rang. Doorbell rang. I had to go answer the door. It was a FedEx guy dropping off a package at the wrong address. So, what I was saying is, so I started on this. Whose is this? Miss Brandon sent me this. And so the problem I'm having, can you see it? Can you see how low that tip is? Like this side's kind of okay. Look at that tip. It is so low. Problem is, I can't do it the way I want. So I first started doing it, and I was filming it. Yeah, it's scandi grind. I started doing it on my flat stones, and it was just wrecking them because it's taken off. And I realized real quick I was gonna dish these stones out, and I was knocking the corners off. So I was like, I've sharpened scandis before, but the amount of material I've got to remove off this one is excessive. So I was like, you know, I wonder if I can maintain that flat on my small stones like I do with regular knives. And so I was trying, and so I didn't want to do this live feed until I test it. But I mean, you can see there's a straight line across there where that grinder got into it. And it's low there and it's low back there. So what I'm having to do is I have to take all that material off. But I wasn't sure I could maintain that, and then I tested it. And so I don't want to use the really nice, these aren't bad stones. Dwayne Smotherman gave me these. These are those Benev diamond stones, but I don't want to just tear up my expensive stuff when I have other things available that could do it. And so I just did a test run. The problem is, this is going to take a very long time. I already have been working on this for better part of an hour. And I'm just getting to where I've gotten the majority of it completely flat, except for a couple spots. Scandi looks horrible. Peter, don't bother calling, man. I don't take calls from anybody except my wife these days. Email or text is about the only way. And if it's business, it probably should be email. It's not that I don't want to talk to people. I just know what happens. I was saying it. You're the one that called while I was in my live feed, or I was shooting my last video. There's a 99% chance I'm not going to take a call. Because now that I posted my stuff up on, I posted my stuff up, so, I actually got back to the doctor too. I was at the doctor. I have to call my sister and let her know. I think, so... yeah, I don't know if she's watching the live. I actually went to the doctor, and so they did an ultrasound. They didn't say anything wrong with my stomach. So I have to go back. Let's see. So they did a quick ultrasound. They set me up. I have to go get I had some blood in my stool. They don't think it's anything serious, but I have to go in and get I don't remember what it is, a radiogram or something where they, like, I got to drink the crap. I don't know. Are you watching my live feed, sis? If you are, answer me on Messenger. So yeah, I came back from that. had the technician here from, it's been a busy morning. It was nice and quick though. It was nice. They got me in and out. The ultrasound said they didn't see anything unusual on it. Maybe, but I'm too lazy. Okay, so she's not logged in, so she is watching it. So yeah, so you can tell mom, nothing major. They think it's just, like I said, I do have an ulcer. I've been taking a lot of that Dayquil cold medicine, tears my stomach up. And so they figure that's just what it is. I've gotten that kind of irritated. So there we go. My sister is messaging me. So when I said, you know, the problem is I do like talking to you guys, and it makes me, I lose track and then I don't get any work done. So I can do it this way, kill two birds with one stone. Wow, this is bad. So, like I said, I was just doing an experiment. Except for you, Peter, I don't want to talk to you. I was kind of doing an experiment to see if I can maintain this angle, and it looks like I can. So, but there are so many low spots on this. But they did, they scheduled me, so. My sister is watching. So, yeah. The clinic is just right around the corner. They did an ultrasound. They gave me some, just basically some antacid, some good antacid, really strong ones. Not really strong, but like, so I didn't have to pay for it. And they set me up to get the, they're gonna drink the barium and they're gonna take a shot of my stomach, because I know enough about the human body to know if you're shitting black blood, it's, no one has any, Peter. So if you're shitting and the blood's black, that's an upper GI, upper stomach. If you're shitting fresh blood, that's lower GI, and that's a perforation and things like that. So, but here, let me show you. Can you see like how much of that tip I'm still diamond? Here's the thing, I don't understand this CBN thing. It's more expensive and it's not as hard. It's more expensive and it's not as hard. So that means you're paying more for something that's not gonna cut as well. The only thing I would say, and I can tell you that I did look it up. I had somebody say, oh, you've got to use CBN or you're gonna have the diamond will encrust into the steel. And I was like, so I looked into it and I did find the paper that they were quoting. And that was all about high-speed milling with diamond grinding. And I was like, here's the thing, that's great. I appreciate the thought, but there is no heat generated with what I'm doing. And they're like, well, it is. And they kept trying to quote the same thing. And I told them, I was like, I'm not using a machine. So I think you're gonna find that you're gonna wanna have a combination of some good, the diamond matrix stones. I would not say even the Venev. These are okay. I definitely like these better. I definitely like the Edge Pro diamonds, the matrix diamond stones, better than the Venevs. The Venevs are okay. I would say it's a good to have a combination of aluminum oxide, diamond, ceramic, and natural. Like the natural abrasives that are in like a Chaucera stone. So that's a good combination of stones to have. I mean, the Venevs won't be bad. You can get away with the Venevs. I don't think they give you as good a finish. There is you do them the way you do the rest of the Edge Pro stones. All of the Edge Pro stones are done on this glass plate with a abrasive sand of some sorts. This is not the stuff you need for it'll work. It's not great, it takes forever. But basically you flatten them on this. You use this as a surface, you put some of that sand down, a little bit of water, and you just flatten them, and then it brings more diamond to the surface. So my sister is playing Red Dead Redemption 2 and apparently got killed by the night people while she was watching me. So I'm so glad they didn't want to do that fucking barium shit today. But I do have to go back. So I got the paper. I can't remember when. I think it's in the next day or two. But like I said, they didn't see anything on ultrasound. They were not too terribly worried because I'm not having any pain, any tenderness, anything like that. Except, you know, I told them I've been taking that Dayquil shit for like a week. And she's like, oh, that shit's hard on your stomach. I was like, yeah, I noticed. So like I said, I didn't know if I was going to be able to maintain this angle, and it looks as though I am. But the thing is, oh, guys, it's horrible. This is pretty freaking horrible. It's gonna take a long time. Where are we at? 11 minutes, and I'd already been working on this for about 45 minutes when I started this. Woo, we are taking off a lot of material. I haven't even gotten the factory scratch pattern off of this. It looks like they did it with a cheese grater. I think my wife should be getting home soon. So I know how to do scandies. I've done several scandies. I own the knife I was carrying earlier is a scandi. So I am able to maintain that, keep it nice and flat. And I'm gonna have to just marry that low spot back out of it. Holy crap, guys. And I'm on 100 grit, so I have a ways to go. So let me turn this around and give you guys a good look at it. Ready? Don't get nauseous. I'm gonna tip you back. There we go. It's like being at the dentist's office. See how he was saying it had a micro bevel? Well, it kind of does. And it's because that's how they accounted for the fact that they screwed that grind up real bad. And you can see, I'm trying to marry this in, but it's still very hard because it's really low here, and then it's really low there. So I have to take all that material off, but the fact is, that means I have to take that material off the entire length of the blade. And you can see where this isn't touching, how it looks like this is low. That's all gonna marry together. Once I take this off and bring this out, I'll have to just marry that all in together. There I am again. You guys ready? All right, hold on. And there you go. I've never seen a folding knife with a scandi grind that was not jacked up. Every one of them. I did that, the bluefin. I did that bluefin for a guy a year or so ago. And yeah, it will, but it's going to take forever. But here's the thing. I also have to sharpen this. A guy said he was sending me a pocket knife, and he paid way more than he should have. I didn't understand why. That's why. So this is in Cold Steel's XHP. You know, just in case you need a pocket sword. Let's see if my sister's watching that one. That's a pocket knife. That's a pocket knife. I don't have a fixed blade that big. No, I said I wasn't going to sharpen samurai swords. I wasn't going to sharpen katanas. Because I've done that before, and I can tell you, I don't have the patience for that. not anymore. Oh man, I gotta take so much material off of this. I don't think it would fit in my pocket. Not in these pockets. Oh, see, hang on a second. No, see, you guys are distracting me from work. See, this is why I don't take calls. You guys are horrible. But like I said, the nice thing about this, I can do this. You can't do this on a fixture. Like, you couldn't do this on a fixture. There's no way. It would take you forever on a fixture. And considering I can focus on specific areas of the edge that I know are worse than others, oh, it's all magnetic. I'm forming a burr, so I know I've at least apexed it. No. Absolutely not. I don't trust myself to do, like, I couldn't fix that. If I screwed up a scandi on that, I asked Elliot one time, I was like, hey, could you grind a scandi? I had a guy that brought a knife, I asked Elliot, I was like, hey, if I was gonna regrind this, you think you could help me? And he looked at me, he goes, not doing that. I got a fuck no out of Elliot. There's no jig or anything at the shop for it. It would have to be all freehand. It would be worse than it is now. I'm just afraid of how much material I'm gonna actually have to remove to get this guy's knife to a point where I'm comfortable saying that it's done. You know what I mean? I hate taking off that much material. This is another one of those cases where I just wish the manufacturer had just done it fucking correctly. But, like I said, I was trying to use my bench stones and I was doing it flat on the table and I was like, it's so uncomfortable for me to do it that way. Unless I'm doing like a straight razor or something specific. Like, that's how I might have to do that big one. I was like, it's an awkward movement to do it that way because I'm so used to doing it this way. So, that's where we're at. I should answer the question if I plan on going anywhere. He's done zero grinds, but like a scandi grind is different than a zero. A zero grind is, I mean, it's like a lot like a full flat without a bevel. A scandi is, you gotta be really exact because if you get those angles misaligned, it's definitely gonna show. Like on other knives, if you get the edge misaligned a little bit, you can kind of account for it other ways. Like a lot of times, swedges can cover up like a mismatched exit and things like that. But on a scandi, there's nothing. You just have the edge, and then the whole bevel goes down to the edge. Okay, so I'm taking off. Look, I don't know if you guys can see how much metal. Here's the thing. You guys, okay. My service exists for a specific reason. Screw me once, shame on you. Screw me twice, shame on me. If you're sending things back to a company that didn't get it right the first time, with the exception of a few, like I said, like I guarantee if I'd sent my Sebenza back, Tim Reeve would have gotten that thing fixed and it would have been perfect. But if you're sending stuff to a company that didn't do it right the first time, let me ask you a question. What are the fucking odds of them doing it right the second time? And if you're seeing consistently that they're bad, like sending a knife to Benchmade because it had a bad edge to try and rectify the edge, well, that's not gonna get you anywhere because I'm gonna tell you right now, few and far between are the very, very good Benchmades these days. That's where I exist in this whole realm of people that got burned by other companies and sending stuff and like, you know what, fuck it, I'm done with these guys. That's why I'm here. Guaranteed, if you sent this knife in, there would be a good chance the one that came back would be worse. You know what I mean? It's a systemic issue in the industry. But don't get me wrong, there are companies that get it right every time. Like, I guarantee if I had sent that, like I said, if I had sent my Sebenza into Tim after he called me, he would have fixed any issues that were, but the thing is, they're cosmetic issues. Unless it's on warranty, I got news for you. Anything that you send to Benchmade for their Life Sharps on warranty and it comes back, everybody, Nico sent some stuff off. We couldn't tell if they'd ever done anything because the fact was, it was every bit as bad as when it left. It had an uneven grind. He sent it in, it came back with an uneven grind. Unless it's on warranty. I got news for you. They got paid to do it the first time. You sent it in on warranty, they're doing it free the second time. What makes you think they're gonna do a better job for less? I honestly, don't see, like, I understand what you're saying. Why should I send it to somebody and pay to fix it? You're gonna pay the shipping to them, you're gonna pay the shipping back, and you're not going to get anything better than what you had to begin with, except $35 in round trip shipping. What do I use on my CRK? I use TW25 Bravo. I've loaded a syringe with it over here. It is weapons grease. It's really expensive. It works great. It works great. It's easy to clean up afterwards. It's, I would not recommend, I did a video, I was talking about it. I think I deleted that video by accident. Oh, I remember what happened. That was the video I thought was recording and was not, and I had done all the work and talked about stuff. Sebenza is the one knife I own that I would not use oil on. And that's because if you're gonna wind up with lock stick on a Sebenza, it's gonna be because you got lubricant up on the lock face. And if you're using oil, that's how it's gonna get there. It's just gonna work its way over there. The grease does not do that, and the grease on a Sebenza works out great. There's a reason that they send you that grease. I don't like the fluorinated grease. I like the that TW25 Bravo. There's nothing. What are you talking about, my Sebenza? What was that? No, you get. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't use oil. I wouldn't use like droppers of oil. I think you should give them a chance at their responsibility. For what? The Sebenza? There's nothing wrong with the Sebenza now. All I did was I rectified the edge. And now I don't even really notice the little, most people wouldn't have noticed it in the first place. I'm just really anal about things. Go ahead, make jokes. I foresee them coming anyway. So, I mean, there's really nothing to fix. There's nothing functionally wrong with the knife. It was an aesthetics thing to begin with. I just, like I told Tim, I was afraid it was a mark of things. See? Hence the anal bleeding. No, it had a little bit of a discrepancy between where the exit on the hollow was, so you could see where. Stop it, cat. You could see where the edge came up further on one side of the flat than the other, and I mean, it happens. I've made knives that look like that, and there's just sometimes no way to fix it if you want to keep. Because my problem was there was a little bit of a warp in the knife that I had to overcome, and the only way to do it was the edge grind. So both sides of the tip of this. There's one there, and then one there. Yeah, like somebody said, it looks bent, and it's because they kicked it over. Maybe they're using Spyderco's robot sharpener. I mean, and somebody was saying they're not disrespecting, something like that. But here's the thing. I've been burned by companies for warranty stuff way too many times to trust the fact that they're going to do anything. My grandfather used to have a saying, he used to do it right the first time because the second time's for free. And companies know this, and so that's why warranty work falls fucking way, way under their radar on shit that they give a fuck about. When you send a knife back, there's a reason that the Benchmade sharpening is free. I guarantee that there's a kid oh, you want to learn how to grind blades? Cool, you see all that warranty work over there? Go over there and sharpen them. And then they're not QAing it, and it just goes out poorly done because it's done by the least skilled person on the team. Because guess what? They're not making money on that. They're not making money on that. They're losing money. That costs them money. That's runtime. That's lights. That's all that stuff. Their warranty service is always going to take a back seat and be not as quality as their primary. And like I said, if you're not doing it right the first time, what do you think the second time is going to be like? When they're losing money, when they're basically paying to fix your knife. And most companies will look at a mismatched edge or a knife that's not completely sharp and be like, that's not a flaw. You know what happens? You say that, but I'm not seeing the warranty work reflecting that. You know what I mean? From some companies. Some companies, amazing. Some companies, you send something in and you get it back and it's like it's brand new. So, I'm worried about my wife. It's almost 2 o'clock. Was that about Emerson? What's the choice? Oh, that's right. I got to do a spa treatment on those 2 Emersons that came in. That might be a video in itself. And I'll give my Sebenza a spa treatment. Again, I recorded it. Well, I recorded an intro, I recorded an outro, and never recorded the actual work being done. This is starting to even out a little bit. It's like I said, I've been working on this over an hour. And here's the thing, like Benchmade fans are gonna disagree with me. Oh. Benchmade fans will disagree with me, but that's because I don't know. They're just gonna disagree with me. They get all bent. The fanboys like those. Some of those brands have a fucking horrible following. I mean, like a horrible following, like a fanatical following. I mean, is what I meant to say. And if you say one thing bad about them, oh, they try to social justice warrior you into silence. It doesn't work with me. I just block their comments or look at them and laugh. I make chisel ground knives, but they're a specific purpose knife and they're based on a chisel ground knife from Japan. And they work out really well for what they're designed for as a small little utility knife. And I've seen some of the knives that Matt made up at Continue Mission, Big Kitty. His knives were really good and really sharp. And they were perfectly good as chisel grinds. I don't like the way they do their chisel grinds at Emerson. And I'm not seeing a problem in their designs. Their designs are actually not bad designs. It's just the execution. But you can't sharpen it anyway. That's the problem. You really can't. Because I got news for you. I've sharpened some Emersons. They can be a pain in the ass to fucking sharpen. And for them to say that chisel grind you can sharpen anywhere on a recurve, no, you can't. You can't just wrap a piece of sandpaper around a flat piece of wood and sharpen a recurve chisel grind. I mean, my chisel grinds come out like stupid sharp, and there's a lot of, Chris has got one. Chris Kelly, if he's still on here, he's got one, and I'm really proud of the chisel grinds I do. They hold up well, and for a small little neck knife, they give you an incredible amount of cutting potential. But I also know chisel grinds aren't for everyone. I lost mine somewhere. My prototype is somewhere in this house, unaccounted for. It's a good chance it fell in behind something or underneath something because it's not very big. It's all right, if I need one, I'll steal my daughter's. I still don't feel great, and I got back from the doctor because I had blood in my stool, so I had to go in and get an ultrasound done. And the part-time job I had lined up fell through, so I still don't have a part-time job. What is the weirdest thing you've ever sharpened? I was just trying to call, it was Culver City, or Culver City. If they leave a message, I will call back. Wow, that is still so, that point right there is so low that you can see where it's kicked over, way over the opposite direction. There's like no edge there. It's not even apex, it's just shiny. Christ almighty. I'm gonna have to take off so much material. What was that? I don't mind ZT knives. ZT knives are good. Just don't get your head too wrapped around the fact that they're made in America, because they are a subsidiary of a Japanese company. Kai America. I mean, they have some good designs. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to, guys, I'm probably gonna have to end this for a little bit and call this guy and let him know that this is way beyond what I thought it was gonna be. Like, it's gonna take me a good bit of time because I have to marry, I can't just do the tip, I have to marry the, I have to marry this tip to the rest of the edge, and that's not gonna be an easy task. So I gotta call this guy and let him know that it's gonna be, I gotta look at how much he paid, and then I've gotta figure out, hey, how much I gotta find out what his limit is on this, because I may have to do something creative. So, a scandi on a folding knife is not, I've never had one that was great. That Pohanlu Bluefish, I think was what it was. That was the other folding one that I did that I was like, God, these are horrible. It was literally probably the, and it was ground so coarse trying to get that taken care of, just like this one was. So, all right, guys, yeah, I gotta end this and talk to the guy and show him exactly what I'm looking at. So.